Now, I'd like to introduce former internees of Manzanar who contributed quotes to the VJAMM. First, I will introduce Brian Maeda and read his quote. Brian will then introduce the other former internees of Manzanar who contributed quotes. Only Brian has to come up to the front. The other people, you may just stand. So Brian Maeda, please stand first. Stand. Was born in the American concentration camp at Manzanar, and it has devoted much of his career as a filmmaker documenting the forced removal and incarceration of persons of Japanese ancestry. His documentary Music Man of Manzanar told the story of Lou Frizzell, who taught music and drama to the teenagers at Manzanar High School, and features his older brother Arnold, who was a teenager while in Manzanar. Brian's newest film, We Said No No, dramatizes the conflict at Tule Lake Segregation Center. Brian's quote reads, "This is the very corner my family reported to before being sent to Manzanar concentration camp with only what they could carry. They, like many other families, lost everything: their homes, their businesses, their liberties." Thank you, Brian. Now Brian will introduce the other four quotes. Right here.
Okay. How's everyone doing? I want to give another great hand to Warren. No, I don't mind following Warren. In fact, I'm proud of it. He was very, very instrumental in 1969, in the beginning of my film career at UCLA. So Arnold Maeda is my older brother. Arnold, please stand for a moment and wave to the audience. I know our parents would be very proud of this moment today. Arnold was 15 years old when he was forcibly removed from his Santa Monica home and lined up on the northwest corner of Venice and Lincoln Blvd in 1942. He had to leave behind a beloved German Shepherd dog named Boy. Arnold's quote attests to that emotional farewell. "Instead of being worried about where we were going, I was obsessed with the fact that I had parted with my constant companion, my pet dog, Boy." For a 15-year-old, that was unforgettably traumatic. Thank you, Arnold. Mei Kakihashi. Mei, please stand and wave to the audience. Where are you, Mei? Mei, there you are. Mei Kageyama had graduated from Venice High School in 1941, just months before Japan attacked the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. She lined up on the northwest corner of Venice and Lincoln with her family for transport to Manzanar. While in turn, Mei's fiancé, Hideo Kakihashi, received a draft notice from his Uncle Sam. So before Hideo left camp for training with the Military Intelligence Service in Minnesota, Mei married him on February 19th, coincidentally the anniversary of the signing of Executive Order 9066, 75 years ago. February 19th is commemorated today as a day of remembrance, and Mei and Hideo's wedding anniversary. Mei's quote refers to the day they left Manzanar to start all over again. "When the camp closed, we were given $25 and told to leave. We had nothing when we left camp. No home, no jobs, no prospects. It was very hard on all of us." Thank you, Mei. Amy Aoki, please stand and wave to the audience. Amy Takahashi's family was the only Japanese-American family in Malibu in 1942. She was 16 years old when the Takahashi family complied with Executive Civilian Exclusion Order number 7 and reported to the northwest corner of Venice and Lincoln. She and her 2 older brothers and 3 sisters were U.S.-born American citizens. Amy, now Amy Aoki, says this marker is special for her because it pays respect to her immigrant parents and to all the Japanese mothers and fathers who were forced to uproot their families. She credits her parents' strong resolve as survivors for getting them through the wartime period. Amy Aoki's quote reads, As a 16-year-old, I didn't realize the injustice fully, but in time, we learned how our rights as citizens were ignored. Thanks to the strength and resilience of our Issei parents, we were able to survive. Thank you, Amy. Lastly, the late Yoshi Tomita, who passed away suddenly in January of this year. His wife, June, and daughter, Jennifer, are here. Please stand and wave to the audience. Yosh brought the VJAMM committee back to the obelisk design, originally suggested by Emily Winters. We are so glad to realize Yosh's vision and thank him for his humbling quote. I was only 5 years old when we were imprisoned in Manzanar. I feel so grateful to the many Nisei and Sansei who worked successfully for redress and reparation with the passage of the Civil Liberties Act of 1988. I feel extremely grateful also to all the people in the community who came together to make the VJAMM a reality. Thank you, Yosh. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Nikki Gilbert will read to you what the VJAMM is all about, what happened on this corner, the historical context of the forced removal, and a plea for vigilance in our present and future. It takes 2 minutes.
In April 1942, during World War II, more than 1,000 American men, women, and children of Japanese ancestry in Venice, Santa Monica, and Malibu reported to this corner at Venice and Lincoln Boulevards. They were allowed to bring with them only what they could carry. The Western Defense Command and 4th Army issued Civilian Exclusion Order No. 7, which gave families only days to dispose of their property and possessions. Buses transported them directly to the American concentration camp. Department of Justice put Japanese American community leaders in detention centers for the unsubstantiated fear of collusion with the enemy nation of Japan on February 19, 1942. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066, which empowered the U.S. Army to declare areas of Washington, Oregon, and California militarily sensitive. EO 9066 forced the removal of 120,000 Japanese and American citizens of Japanese ancestry from the West Coast to be imprisoned in temporary assembly centers at fairgrounds and racetracks. Months later, they were taken to 10 American concentration camps under the Relocation Authority. This forced removal and imprisonment without any regard to due process or the writ of habeas corpus violated their rights under the Constitution. May the Venice Japanese American Memorial Monument remind us to be forever vigilant about defending our constitutional rights. The powers of government must never again perpetrate an injustice against any group based solely on ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, race, or religion. Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. Emily Winters will now speak about the evolution of the design of the Venice Japanese American Memorial Monument.
Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Where am I?
Speak
Right here? Okay. Got it. Good morning, everyone. I hope to keep this to 2 minutes. We had it took us over a year to decide on this design. You know how committees are. And we started out with the monument idea, and we ended up with the monument idea because that's always been kind of a symbol of Manzanar. And we see it everywhere. They always show this. So the original the obelisk is on the back of your program, and it says "I Rei To" in kanji, and I've forgotten exactly what it means because I forgot my notes. But it's something like to console the spirits of the dead. And I sort of feel that this is a consolation that this happened and we're not letting it be forgotten. So it was a tedious process, but we did it. And I must say, in all our efforts for this design, I had not realized how elegant it looks till they put it up. And it is wonderful that I think that everyone came together to do this. And all the supporters of people like you, there were tremendous amount of money that was donated in $10 and $20, as well as the $5,000. So I thank all of you. It would never happen if this community of Venice and the Japanese American community had not contributed and supported and given us the courage to continue. Thank you.